Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Hip Hop Nation TV. Yeah, man. Today I'm excited, man, because I got one of the dopest MCs, man, the legendary OG. I've been looking for this guy for years. It's just a blessing to have him here today. Yeah, man. I got Snazz D, the dictator. OG, welcome.
Ho, 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 ho. What up, son?
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, otherwise,
type this. I'm all good, man. All good. All good. It's good to
for
be
sure,
here,
man.
yo.
Welcome to Hip Hop Nation TV, man.
I,
It's an honor to have you here.
peace, peace.
Hey man, just please man, just tell us about yourself, man. Who Julian Duplessis is, and you
I,
growing up in Cape Town and Gugulethu.
popular misconception. I grew up in the
Yeah.
Cape Flats. Uh, yeah,
Oh.
Guguletu is not really where I grew up or was born.
Oh. Okay.
I got homies there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
the actual fact is Cape Flats, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was I don't know where that came from. Someone typed that, and it's not
As
me.
in, yeah, this
Uh,
Wikipedia thing, ish man, ish.
yeah. Oh, you know what is? Yeah, that's probably the problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
the wikis. Yeah, they're not
Yeah, ish.
they're not clueless. Yeah,
You see why we ask you guys
sorry about that.
but it's all good. It's all good.
This is why we have these interviews to clear up these Wikipedia edits. Yeah,
Misconceptions,
but
ish. Yeah.
yeah, but it was it by someone who is not uh, here, like in Africa. It was done by a dude overseas, so one of my contacts
Yeah.
out there, But it's
Mm.
I guess it's easy because Gooks is like the underground media capital in Cape Town.
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some of the dopest cats is out of there, and he probably assumed that since
That you're
I'm
from Gooks.
dope, I must be from yeah.
From Gooks.
So sorry
Yeah.
about that.
It's all good.
It's
It's all
Cape
good.
Flats, my brother. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How is that
that's where I
like
was
growing
born
up?
and raised. That's where I was born. Hey, it was rough, my man.
Mm.
Hey, it's like Compton out there. So
Yeah. And because you
actually,
come from
like
like
what happened? My my, if I can give you some background, like my mom was
mm,
in exile, and from like 1986 to
mm,
like 1990, 91, she was
mm,
actually living in Germany, and
mm,
I was in the Cape Flats, like being raised by my grandmother, my sister, and I. So
mm,
when she returned, she relocated to JSEC. You know what I mean,
mm,
and kind of like exported us from Cape Town to Johannesburg.
mm.
So before that, I was in uh, Cape Flats for my whole childhood, and then my teenage years were spent at Lee Club. I mean J section. Sorry. So yeah, we relocated to JSEC around 1991. That's
Yeah.
where I linked up with Crooked the Warmonger, Bonafide, Ben
Mm,
Sharper, and
yeah.
uh, Crooked and Cap were the
Yeah.
ones who kind of like inducted me into the the real underground railroad. You know what I mean? Where Specs
Yeah.
was at, Metamorphosis was live. I met everybody like on the underground through them and Lee Club. I'm talking about Ramesh,
Mm,
Amu, Wicked,
yeah.
Sawin, like yo, the whole. Before that, I was like, will POC put me on ever?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
met the real underground cats. The
Yeah.
cat the lifeblood of underground hip hop in South Africa was,
yeah.
these cats, and yeah, shout out to them. But from 1991, I relocated to JSEC. That's where it all began. Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow, that's amazing, man. Because also I remember like you were highly influenced by Prophets of the City and Black Noise, and I mean that was like one of the rough times, like
Well, I didn't, I didn't know them cats per se.
yeah,
That kind
yeah.
of came later. I actually met them in Johannesburg. You know what I mean?
Oh, oh,
Once the mother loaded, once the mother loaded come out, and we had made a little
yeah.
name for ourselves, we started like hanging out in Yeovil, and in
Mm,
Yeovil is, I don't know, Yeovil was like the, I can say, like the Brooklyn of
mm,
JSEC, if you know what I mean. Like
yeah.
everybody, all the hip hop crews were out there. I suspect I met Del the Funky Homo sapien in Yeovil. He didn't
Yeah.
broadcast it. He didn't tell nobody. I think it was him. I think it was. Anyway,
Mm,
but
mm,
the POC cats, I linked up with Shaheen uh,
mm,
first in Yeovil, and then later
mm,
on, when we went to JSEC, I linked up with him again, and he kind of like scooped me at UCT, and
mm,
yo, he was like, hop in the ride, and we went to his crib, and I'm just like,
mm,
starstruck. You know what I mean? Because he
mm,
was like to me like the dopest MC ever. You know what I mean?
mm,
And we
mm,
went to his crib, God, and he pulled out a
mm,
rhyme pad and he started breaking
mm.
down like the way how to write rhymes, and I was like, oh shit, our big school guy for you, Shaheen, man. So that's we actually met in JSEC. You understand,
Yeah,
like Black Noise,
yeah,
Prophets of the City, but
yeah.
that was really my first introduction to like a hip hop crew that that was making moves, man. You
Mm,
understand?
mm,
Like the
mm.
manager, Lance Stir, he later went on to produce, not produce, to
Yes,
manage
yeah.
Bongs. You know what I'm saying? And yo, everything, everybody he touched, sort of,
Mm,
you know, went up. And I was more on the street level. You know what I mean? Ciphers
mm,
but it's from
mm,
like POC and them that I saw like ASR 10 in a
mm,
crib.
mm,
You know what I mean? Like I saw like
mm,
a home studio, but pimped out. I mean, Ready D with the decks and stacks of vinyl in some obscure flat in Yeovil. You know what I mean?
mm,
That was a wow for me. But yeah, no, just to set the record straight, we linked up in JSEC with. I linked up with in JSEC. I made contact with POC in JSEC,
mm,
not Cape Town per se. So I wasn't really like I was a fan before that. You know what I mean? I had the
mm,
vinyl at
mm,
home. You know that one
mm.
with all like there's like 50, 50 or 60 people on the album cover. You know, I
Yo,
had that vinyl.
wow.
Uh,
Mm,
but around that time, DJ Blaze and Ready D had a radio station. Well, they had a
mm,
spot on like I think it was Good Hope FM. They had like an
yeah,
afternoon
yeah,
hour,
yeah.
and I would run home from school, and I would press record and pause. You know what I mean, and tape the show, and that's how like that was my first introduction to hip hop. This is where I heard KRS One, Cool J Rap, like Fat Joe, like the real dope underground New York MCs.
Yeah,
They really introduced me to that. You know what I'm saying? That radio
yeah.
show, and I'll never forget it. I had like the TDK cassettes with all their shows, and I would like start out by listening to these ones. And the best track I would take, and I would write the rhymes of the MCs. You know what I mean? Like I wrote,
Mm,
Ill Street Blues by Cool J Rap. That was like my first joint. I wrote that rhyme,
Yeah.
I'm standing on my doorstep thinking of a plan, looking like Raggedy Ann with my man kicking the can. I wrote these rhymes down, like, stop the light. What
Oh.
the hell did he say? Okay, right. You know what I mean? And then when I
Mm.
was about 13 years old, I started writing my own rhymes. I was like
Amazing.
I was at boarding school and there was a
Mm.
talent show and I got my best friend, Fee, and Lerato and Tando Soga. We were a crew called DIP. Dudes in prison.
Mm.
and,
Oh.
and we jumped on stage and like
Yeah.
we were dressed in all black with white sneakers because our idols
So
were NWA. This is around 1992. Yeah, that
yeah.
was like, but on that joint is when I started writing my own rhymes. You know what I mean? I think I was about 14 years old. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. And I mean, you like meeting up with Crooked and Ben Sharp. Wait, was it you? Was it you who used to host at the club? Or
yes, yeah. That's right. I
wow,
was like the host.
how was that
I
like?
got I got paid I got paid 300 rand a week. You know what I mean, to
Yeah,
host
yeah,
the show.
yeah.
You laugh, you laugh, but I'm telling you, it was a long line of
It was a lot
people
of
trying to get
so
in,
yeah.
man.
That's why I'm laughing.
And
Like
I'd be
like
walking.
at that time it was so much,
Dude, I
and
would
today
I
it's
would
like
walk in. I would walk in with like like five plus dudes around me every week. You know what I mean? Yo.
yeah.
And we would go through, and what I would do is I would I would charge the MCs to get on the mic. I charged
Mm,
them. I had a piece of paper and a pen, and I said, "Yo, you want to get on? You know what I mean? You pay $20." And
mm,
I would have like cats like I don't know.
mm,
I don't want to name names, but I would write
mm,
like maybe six names and have 120 rand. And what I would
mm,
do is take that like $20 from each one, like 126
mm,
MCs, and then I would put that in the pot. Like
mm,
dopest MC of the day gets the dough.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
just as a
mm,
little incentive for cats, because I even
mm,
then I felt like there's gotta be some kind of show of appreciation from
mm,
even if you're trying to put someone on. If you're a producer, you're trying to put a cat on. You know what I mean?
mm,
You bless them with something as an incentive. You know what I mean? So I thought
mhm,
it was very important to put money in the hand
mm,
of the performer. You know what I
mm,
mean?
mm,
And
mm,
yo, it just blew up from there. You know what I mean?
mm.
Yeah.
That's dope because that's something that is missing today with having promoters that do not want to pay upcoming artists. Um, what do you think can
Yeah.
be done to solve that problem?
Yo, it's like I think it's up to the MC to take the initiative. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Like I remember thinking to myself like, damn, why can't cats, you know, call me for a show?
mm,
I'm dope. People know my
mm,
name. And why am I getting these calls? You know what I mean? And
mhm,
then I remember like as audio visual, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
My man Crooked, what Crooked
mm,
did was rent the club. You know what I mean?
mm,
Went
mm,
to the owner and was like, "Yo, how much to rent the club for the night? How much you
mm,
want for that?" You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
the dude
mm,
was like, "Yo, I want X amount of thousand." And yo, homie put up the dough. You understand? And once he
mm,
put up the dough,
mm,
he invested his own dough to make flyers. You know what I'm saying? And
mm,
then he
mm,
came to me and Kat, and he was like, "Cats,
mm,
we on Friday night, the 24th. Make sure you know your shit. I'm having rehearsals at my crib,
mm,
and you will get paid."
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It was an awesome feeling, for us as young cats, because he showed us that,
mm,
you know what I mean, no one's gonna put you on. You put yourself on.
mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No matter like you
yeah,
gotta work a 9 to 5 and get that money in order to rent
yeah,
a club, make your own flyers and do your own social media and what you put yourself on. You know what I mean? Don't wait for cats to,
true.
you know what I mean? Because
Yep,
I mean, even Kendrick, that's how he did it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yep,
mean, he went to
mm,
Dr. Dre over and over with the demo, like, yo, put me on. And Dre was like probably sitting with like 1,000 tapes in his pad, like, yo, I
yeah,
can't listen to all it. And he took notice of the cat that's making a mark for himself. You know what I mean? When that
yeah,
video dropped, the Kendrick in the club rocking it went viral.
yep,
That's when, you know what I mean? Cats. So my advice would be to like, don't wait for people. You know what I'm saying? Get that
yeah,
money, put yourself on. Yeah, yeah. Sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because like I mean, even a couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with uh one of the producers that I'm doing an EP with. Like I was telling him, like I saw a textbook where that said, like, an artist is like a salesperson. So it's very interesting you say that, because I mean, like, a lot of people, like, we, myself and other and other young artists, we didn't have that knowledge of, like, as an artist, you have to learn how to sell yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you think maybe the other problem could be because of the lack of knowledge about the music business? Maybe that's the reason why the new
Uh,
generation.
Dude, if 12-year-olds is getting on TikTok and making $1 million a week,
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
don't think there's any excuse. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
MC should be
yeah,
aware of what's going on. But
yeah,
I do feel that there is maybe an opportunity for
yeah,
us to raise awareness about
yeah,
how you can put yourself on. But I don't know, man. With all this new technology and these
yeah,
media streams and all that, I believe in an old-fashioned kind of ethic, whereby I just think that it'd be nice if
yeah,
a dope rhyme and a dope beat
yeah,
still garnered fans. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I don't think, and I mean, this is hip hop. Well, real hip hop. It's always been.
mm,
It's not about what fancy car you're driving or platinum jewelry around your neck and or nice girls in the background. You know what I mean? If your rhyme is dope
true that.
and you got some punchlines out there that make a man go, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
the beat is solid, you know what I mean? Yo,
mm,
uh, you should be able to, you know what I mean, get fans and I don't know. I'm old fashioned, man. I still think that uh, look across the spectrum of social media, there can
mm,
be a lot of people doing all kinds of gimmicks to get
yeah,
that
yeah,
spotlight. You know what I mean?
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
dude dancing on a skateboard. There's a dude jumping up a building with a parachute while he drops a 16. Come on, man. I can
yeah,
sit here right now. I should be able to sit here right now and drop a 16 that should blow up the spot. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? That's how
yeah,
it. Uh, having said that, I also think that there's like a little thing, MF Doom touched on it. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
think that it's
yeah,
important that you don't give too much away. You
yeah,
understand? Like, there's a lot of cats that's just putting themselves out there, like, and in these days, I mean, my daughter can go online and peep your rhyme and be like, all right, that's dope. But you'll notice that maybe with an established artist, he understands the significance of not giving yourself away or not giving away too much. So on the due date of maybe July 18th, you will hear the new single. And you know what I mean? Everything leads up to that. That's also a kind of that's street smarts, man. You know what I mean?
mhm,
If I'm
mhm.
selling weed on the block, you can't be giving away weed, man. You will lose profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
True that.
you you,
True
you
that.
wanna you wanna let the word spread that you got the
Yep.
dopest ish on the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And uh, yo, I mean, that's how I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was hustling on the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had a dude come up to me from another 3 blocks up.
Mm,
And homie just came in and hung out my spot. You know what I mean? I had like a little table. I was selling cigarettes and sweet. I was selling weed on the low though, and he just
mm,
bought his smoke and chilled and watched me sell to like 5 customers. And then he stepped up like, "Yo, cat, so you the
mm,
mob that's taking all my customers." You know what I mean? And I'm like,
mm.
"Oh, this is it. This is it. My weed is the best." So, yo, I was ready to throw down.
Who
What?
talks
Just
about?
you? Let's go. And then, dude, true story. He said,
Yeah.
"Ain't, ain't you Snazz D, man? Ain't you Snazz from Cashless Society, right?" And I was like,
Mm,
"Oh snap!" He he was like, "Yo, dude, you that dude, man. You that dude. You shouldn't be out
mm,
here doing this street shit, man. You're supposed to be large, God. You're supposed to be in studio, wrecking the mic, man. You got a gift, you got a talent. You know what I mean? You why you out here doing this? You know what I mean? And I was
mm.
like, yo, man, I'm just trying to pay the rent and shit. He was like, dude, I will pay for your studio time. I do. Dude, what's it gonna take? What's it gonna take, son? And I was like,
Whoa.
I feel you. I feel you. So, you know what I mean? But my
Whoa.
point, the point I'm trying to make is, uh, don't give too much away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's the point I'm trying to make is that I'm sorry. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
Thank
understand?
you.
I'll give cats a little. I'll
Thank you
give
for
cats
making
a
that
little
statement.
taster. I will keep putting out the Hot and Tot Hop video until my new album drops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before that comes, I can't be leaking out my stuff. It's not fair to the producer. It's not fair to my manager. It's not
Engineers.
fair to my team. To my team, yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And
mm,
also, it's kind of like shooting myself in the foot. You understand? If
mm,
I'm out there
mm,
just I would rather put a due date online. You know what I mean? Okay,
mhm.
here go the Twitter account. Like, put a little due date. Yo, Snaz's new album coming this date. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
maybe have friends of mine say, "Yo, look out for the new Snaz on this date." You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
as far as I know, I don't know personally. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like, a
Yeah.
lot of the time, like when we were doing the Cashless Society stuff, cats would always
Mm,
ask us, "Yo, when is the new album coming? When y'all gonna drop?" And we would be very cagey about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
understood, even then, we understood that, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
don't give too much away because you'll be
yeah.
diluting the impact that you can
Yeah.
create with, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that answers the question. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
talking too much.
and the dope thing about it was it created a whole lot of excitement, like, yo, the album's
Yes,
coming out, I can't wait,
it hold it
that
up. It
suspense
hold
was
up
there,
the
yeah.
excitement.
And
Yeah,
it was
and
worth it. Yeah.
there's a science to it. I mean, back in the day, they would have like, a little single on the radio that would play, the
Yeah.
single before the album drops. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
to give you a taste of what's coming, they would be
Yeah.
like, a word of mouth whereby people, yo, you would tell your boy, yo, I can't wait for
Mm,
October the 21st when the new Wu Tang is coming. Oh man,
yeah.
the new Nas album is dropping in December. You know what I mean?
Mm,
It's November
mm,
now. The hype is building. The hype is building.
mm,
Nas goes on TV and MTV and does a little interview. You know what I mean?
mm, mm,
The hype builds, man. And on the day
mm.
it drops, it is sold out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The album stores have sold out that album. They can't find it. You know what I mean? You gotta book for next week when the new shipment comes in to get your copy.
Yeah.
I don't know, but overall, I feel like us hip hop cats have had it very rough. You
mm,
understand? Because
mm,
we were forced to put ourselves on. It's not
mm,
like the other genres of music where cats had managers and labels
mm.
behind them to push it. We were up against giants. You know what I mean? If
Exactly.
the new
Exactly.
if the new I mean back then it was Kwaito. Today it's Amapiano. But
Mm,
back then when the commercial stuff dropped, they had so much
mm,
more pull. They had weight behind them. They had labels and money
mm,
behind them. We were just like a couple of cats who had dope punchlines, you know what I mean? Dope beats.
mhm,
So we
mm,
didn't have the knowledge, you know what I mean? And no one really showed us how to do it, you know what I mean?
mm,
And
mm.
it's just brothers looking out for each other and putting each other on. Oh, you got a homeboy, he works at YFM. Oh, maybe that cat can, you know what I mean? You hustle
Yeah.
and talk with the brothers, you know what I mean? So
True that.
that ethic, it seems like has remained in that we network and unify amongst each other to put each other on because we understand as brothers, ain't nobody really looking out for us, you know what I mean? But if
True.
you look at
True that.
maybe the Afrikaans music genre,
Yeah.
this Afrikaans music, yo, dudes got clubs and pubs
True.
where they go and perform every Thursday, and they have a loyal following of supporters that pay to
True.
go to their shows so that the
Yeah.
cat can grow, and what I mean, they really show support. For us,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like I feel that a lot of the promoters out here are more concerned with what can bring in money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, yo,
Mm,
how can I get 400 people in my club? You know what I mean? Like that's
mhm,
it's all about money here, and there's not really a tight connection of hip hop cats that can put it's only now. You know what I mean? I think the
mm,
young cats are
mm,
lucky even. You know what I mean? Didn't have the social media outlets we had. To get your stuff on
true.
radio, there was a whole rigmarole you had to go through to get your video on TV. There was all kinds of red tape and stuff that you had to have all
Mm,
kind. It's still valid now. You need
mm,
barcodes and tax numbers and God knows. I'm just saying, it's a
yeah.
bit easier now. You know what I mean, but for us to really blow up to be the next dopest African MC right now, I think can be achieved
Mm,
without all of that because of social media. We're more in touch. You know what I mean? There could be a cat
yeah.
overseas right now listening to what you're doing or what you're talking about right now and be like,
Yeah.
yo, I like what he's saying. I'd like to hear his music. And it's much easier now. Back
Yeah.
then, shit, it was very hard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
But how?
there are pros
Oh,
and
my
cons.
bad. Yeah. My bad for interrupting you. But how is it like, having your as cashless society having Hot and Tot on SAPC and even Taxi Wars? Because I mean, those checks like were really big.
Yeah, yeah, that was really exciting. I gotta tell you,
Yeah.
it was really exciting because we got nominated for 3 summer awards as well, and it was best single, best video, and best album. You know what I mean? And yo, that was such a dope feeling, God. I mean, yo,
Mm. Mm.
so cats from the hood, like you know what I mean. We felt like, yo, man, we're opening the door right here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean,
True.
I don't know how to explain it. Before that, it was R&B and Kwaito.
Yeah.
You
True.
understand? There was no hip hop
Yeah. Exactly.
that be able. You know what I mean? Joe, we were on Studio Mix. Remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember
With
that shit too.
that fly shorty, Melanie Sun, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
from my planet. You know what I mean? Like there was
Yeah.
there was no way in hell. You know what I mean? Like you would see a hip hop local crew, you know what I mean, up on there. So when the
Yeah.
video broke and made number one on Studio Mix for three
Yeah.
weeks in a row, forget
Damn.
about it, guys. Yeah, we were like, oh, yeah. It was beautiful, and it was really a dope feeling. Uh, because also we felt like with that we had we had kind of like we had kind of like also exposed the fact that we as South Africans can compete on the world stage with the best of them.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We had done our homework. We had battled.
Yeah.
I had battled so many cats. You know what I mean? I was like,
Hey,
shit, I'll take
you
anybody
caused so
on.
many trouble, so much trouble. When hey, I'm a proverb.
Yeah, but
I'm a tamasi.
good, good.
Yeah.
It was a
But how
school
was
of
that
hard
like? I
knocks.
mean, how was that like? I mean, on Sprite MC Africa, because I remember, you. Ah, no. You were
the
heavy there.
a lot of it came from the fact that look, there's a little background history you might not know about. I ran away from home when I was 17 years old. You understand?
Wow. Mm,
When Cashless Society dropped, I was like
mm.
21 years old, and I'd
Wow.
been living on my own for
Mm,
about 5 years. And at
mm,
the time Cashless dropped, it was
mm,
me, X amount, criminal, and black intellect that shared a
mm,
flat and had to pay our
mm,
own rent. And we
mm,
was eating pop and orange pills for supper, my nigga. It was rough.
mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So
Yeah.
and when I went to Lee Club, you understand, it was like,
Mm,
damn,
mm,
this nigga's gonna go home to his mom's and have a nice supper, shit, and
mm,
then you sleep in a nice bed and don't have to shack up with brothers and you know
mm,
uh,
mm,
it's not a question of who's cooking tonight or what food in
mm,
the fridge. We
mm.
didn't have a fridge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Ish.
the
Yeah.
experience,
Ish.
the, the experience, the experience of being so young and
Mm,
independent, I can say it gave me an edge. You understand?
mm,
It was very
mm,
real for us. You know what I mean? When we
mm,
hooked up with Drastic, you know what I mean, and he's one of us, and he's got his own car. Like yo,
mm,
it's when we rolled. You know what I mean? We stayed out all night long
mm,
in a club,
mm,
ciphering. You know what I mean?
mm,
There's no
mm,
curfew for us, man. 2 o'clock in the
mm,
morning. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Me, Gemini, Drastic, X amount,
mm,
battling it out, ciphering in some obscure
mm,
spot in the open with black labels and Buddha. You know what I mean? Oh, it was
mm,
crazy. You know what I mean?
mm,
But that
mm,
that gave us the edge. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you need to be homeless to make it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
yeah, I feel you.
I'm saying like it made me battle that much harder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was very close to being on the street. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Mm,
if we don't pay our rent this month, yo, you know what I mean? And the cat comes at
mm,
me like, yo, your rhymes are whack. Like, nigga, what? Like,
mm,
yo, I was dropping punchlines like, what you know about the landlord knocking at your door wanting rent? To talk
mm,
to me about, yo, you must be smoking or getting bent, like, yo, I mean,
mm,
I hooked
mm,
up with Emphatic Tabs. Emphatic was another cat that was just like, you know what I mean, going for
mm,
broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
yo, cat was like, he was like, hungry as well. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Genie Gwyneth,
yeah.
Fungus, you know what I mean? We're talking about real MCs that was living it. You
Mm.
understand?
Those are legends, man. Oh,
It, it yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that I don't know. It's cats that was kind of like eating off hip hop. You understand?
Mm,
Like
mm,
we sprayed trains and stuff. You know what I mean? But now
mhm,
the dude that's can afford the spray cans is another
mhm.
story. You know what I'm saying? Like yo,
Yeah,
to be to be like yo cats, we got a show, and our proceeds
yeah,
from the show is going to the
yeah,
rent. Snazz, don't
yeah.
buy beer.
Mhm.
We paid the rent this month with the money we're making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I feel you.
I don't know, it toughens you up. So when you're in the battle space, you know what I mean?
Mm,
It's like
mm,
what I got to lose, man. I don't got nothing to lose, you know what I mean? Like yo,
mm,
you go all out each time, every time, you
mm,
know what I mean? There
mm,
could be five
mm,
MCs in the cipher, you rhyme like that's your last rhyme ever, you know what I mean? Like this
mhm,
is it, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Because in a way it really is, you know. I mean we come
mhm,
from the school where if you were whack, you didn't come back. You
mm,
understand? Like yo, if you were whack in a cipher, yo,
mm,
cats is you know, you try and enter the cipher again, cats are turning away. Ah, this nigga, man. Fuck
mm,
that. You know what I mean? You gotta be
mm.
dope
I feel
all
you.
the
Yeah,
time, you know. So we did our homework, especially like with Ben Sharper and Crooked, they kind of like
yeah,
schooled me in how to make sure the verses are seamless. You know what I mean? Like there are
mm,
no flaws. You know, like how to write verses that hit hard. You know, like
mm,
that's when I got to learn what dots are. You know what I mean?
mm,
Spitting dots. Yo, a
mm.
dot is a joint that stings the shit out of you. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you drop a
Yeah,
verse with dots,
yeah.
cats ain't coming back from that shit. You know what I mean? That's
I feel you.
and yo, dude, I was dead by Crooked one time, right? To
Mm,
write a
mm,
verse dissing everybody that's out, dissing
yeah,
everybody that's out. I remember at that time it was mischief,
yeah,
specs, Amu, and I
yeah.
called niggas out. I went on
Mm.
some big Zulu shit. You see what Big Zulu did?
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
You think you went 2 times harder than that?
I did that shit. I went like 20 years
They gotta
ago,
give you
but
props.
and 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 similar to him, like I targeted the cats on the top. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like
mm.
you see that 50 Cent how to rob a rapper, that kind of vibe. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean? We
yeah.
mentioned
This thing
Jay
up
Z
Wu Tang.
and calls them out. You know what I mean by
Yeah,
name, so there's no mistaking it. I'm scared of you,
yeah.
motherfuckers. Yeah, so you know what I mean. We went for broke. You know what I mean, but
Yeah,
it's it's all part of that expression was really us and us saying to the world, this is how much we love hip hop. We gotta.
yeah.
It's a sacred art form that requires
Mm,
sacrifice and
mm,
balls, nigga, balls for this shit. You know what I mean?
mm.
You need to have some corners on you. You know what I'm saying?
True
To
that.
do hip hop. You know what I mean? You gotta believe
Mhm.
in yourself and be able to like sacrifice and make the necessary requirements to get what you want. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And maybe that's an ethos for life even. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you really believe in something, you won't let failures keep you down. You know what I mean?
Mm,
There's a lot of stuff that we go through as young black men in Africa. There's a lot of
mm,
shit we go through, you know,
mm,
and it's not spoken about on media. In fact, some
mm,
of it is even taboo. You know what I mean? For me, as a
mm,
black man, to complain on social media, I don't think this is fair. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's
mm,
we're not really allowed to. You know, the gay people can, the gay people
mm.
can, the women
Yeah,
can, the children
yeah,
can, but
yeah.
for black men, there's no outlet for us. There's no outlet for the
Yeah.
minute I go online and I say some shit like, yeah, man, you know, I just got robbed by a myope kid. Some
mm,
motherfucker smoking crystal just robbed me at the, I'm coming home from work, trying to put food
yeah,
on the table, and my
mm,
car got stolen by someone smoking in my face. That we're not allowed to say things like that. We're supposed to be the strong black men. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah,
in a way, I think that, and yo, this is the part where I give a little bit about my new album that's coming out.
yeah.
This is
Snaz. Yeah,
you understand? I'm trying to talk about real issues affecting us as young
yeah,
African men. You know what I mean? This is what my new album is all about. It's produced by Masuko from Black Sunshine, who's in Costa Rica right now. You know what I mean? He send me the
yeah.
beats, I write and go to studio and send it
So
back for
where can we
production.
find it?
You know, uh, ha, it will be dropping in the new year. You heard it here first.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
you know what I mean? But the point I'm trying to make is that there's a lot of things that's happening in the hood
Mm,
that no one
mm,
seems to be talking about. The
yeah,
drug epidemic,
mm,
the substance abuse,
mm,
the no, our reliance on alcohol. You know
mm,
what I mean?
mm,
And I messed up in my life. You know what I mean? I reached a height, especially after the MC Africa battle, where I
mm,
went on the, you know what I mean? I was drinking, I was doing drugs, I was doing fucked up shit.
mm,
And around 2016,
mm,
I I started to get cleaned up, and
mm,
I had to go to rehab like five
mm,
times, my nigga. You see that show
mm.
on TV? I blew it. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
I
yeah,
blew it.
yeah.
I could easily go on that show,
Mm,
steal the spotlight. You know what I mean? I blew so
mm,
much dough. I fucked up. I hurt a lot of people. I stole from my
mm,
friends for a fix. I was in a bad, dark space,
mm,
and
mm,
I'm happy to say that right now I'm clean. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
haven't had a
for
drink in
sure.
5 years. I haven't touched a
Amazing,
substance in 5 years.
amazing.
Let's see, it's 23. Yeah, 2018. 2018, man.
Yeah,
Since 2018, I haven't touched alcohol or drugs. You know what I mean? I've been
mm,
clean. And I was about to put out my new album, fresh, back on the block. And then,
mm,
my producer told me, like, dude, why you don't need to prove that you've got the dopest punchlines? How about you raise awareness about what you went through, your journey?
mm,
Because there are
yeah,
brothers that are dope rappers and dope producers who are smoking crystal, who are
yeah,
smoking yuppie, who are
mm,
that have died. I don't have to
exactly.
mention Ricky Rick or
Mm,
AKA. It might not
mm,
seem like a substance abuse related death, but I
mm,
think it is. You know what I mean? The events
mm,
leading up to AKA's demise, I believe, was substance abuse related.
mhm,
But how come since AKA died and Ricky Rick died, there's been no hip
mm.
hop artists come forward in South Africa and say, yo, guys, this is a wake up call. I
Oh, for
mean,
us, yeah.
Naren, were not yourself. You
Mm,
definitely know a dope MC that is smoking drugs right now. The one that you
true.
pass on the street and you're like, why ain't you in the studio? And you book studio time for him and you try to put him on, but he cannot
Mm,
because he's got an
mm,
addiction. He's got a
mm,
bigger demon to battle right now. You know what I mean?
mm,
He's not trying to battle MCs. He's got a bigger the monkey on his back is his demon. You know what I mean?
mm,
There's another
mm,
brother that I know that like yo, he drinks a lot. He's
mm,
a dope cat. He's a dope
mm,
cat, but he
mm.
drinks a lot. You know what I
True.
mean? And it's so sad because I've known Homeboy for more than 10 years, and he's one of the realest cats, but he
mm,
cannot bring himself to record an album because his addiction is standing in the way. Why is no one talking
mm,
about this? What is it not?
mm,
Is it not sensationalist enough? Well, I'm sorry, you know
mm,
what I mean? I decided, you know what, whether I sell albums or not is not important. I believe that with the following I have, it's important that people have an album where we can bump it in the streets where we live talking about that nigga,
mm.
you know?
True
Kind of
that.
like
Real talk.
make an anthem that can raise awareness about the drug addiction, about alcohol addiction, and also
Mm-hmm.
to enlighten people who don't know. There's a lot of stereotypes about you know alcohol that niggas don't know about. You know what I mean? Now imagine
Mm,
my kids is watching the YouTube and they seeing
mm,
hip hop videos with guys. There's like smoke. You know what I mean? I caught
mm,
my
mm, mm,
son. My son took my lighter and was like holding a stick to his mouth. Said, "Daddy, look, I'm smoking."
mm,
You
mm,
understand? It's like, no,
mm,
dude, where did you pick this up? No, you know what I mean? I'm seeing the music videos that you're watching, you know what I mean? So
mm,
I'm saying there's no conscious rapper out in South Africa right now that's talking
true.
about the drug epidemic that is gripping the country. I've done shows in
Mm,
Eastern Cape, I've done shows in Cape Town, I got
mm,
peeps as far as Botswana, Namibia,
mm,
you know what I mean, in Pretoria, like all of Durban, across the whole country, that are telling me that it is not safe to walk the streets. And
mm,
it's not gangsters. It's not gangsters.
mm,
It's
mm,
motherfuckers that will jack you because they want to buy their next shit.
mm,
How come nobody's talking about this? So I decided, fuck it, man.
mm,
I've been living that life. I know that life. You know what I mean? I was damn
true.
near homeless myself. I was homeless for like 2 months, man. I was this shit isn't for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like this kind of journey. If my journey, my battle with drug addiction, if it's not so that I can teach other people and raise awareness about it, then what's the point? You
Mm,
understand? If I can't
mm,
use my art as an expression of my journey and how I managed to beat the habit, how I
mm,
managed to raise myself up from rock bottom
mm,
to where I
mm,
am now, back in the
mm,
studio, better
mm,
beats than ever. The dopest
mm,
producers clapping me on the back and saying, as long as you hold your end of the bargain, Snazz, we'll support you. You know what I mean?
mm,
And
mm,
all I
mm.
gotta do is what? Be myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Exactly.
try and appear in a video with a dope car or jewelry or girls. I'm gonna appear on a video telling you what you already know, but what other people might not know. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, when I was in rehab, I met some of the dopest MCs, man.
Wow.
I met a kid who was rapping in Afrikaans. Not just rapping, my nigga. He
Mm,
was doing this.
mm.
Like, yo, fuck Eminem, nigga. This nigga was spitting.
Yeah.
Cornrows in his hair from El Dorado Park telling, yo, spitting.
Mm,
And I was like, yo, this cat might not see the light of day. You know what I
mm,
mean? And this is why I feel that it's important for black men such as ourselves to set an
mm,
example, not just in our art, but on a daily basis. You walking down the street and other brothers see you passing and they see you're not drunk, you're not high, you're just an African. You know what I mean? There are kids that look up to you that you don't know about. You might be
mm,
going to the shop, you pass the robots and you bumping hip hop. There's a kid looking at you being, I want to be like that cat. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, that
mm,
kid goes home and he sees like, brothers drinking and smoking. And that's not the example we want to set for our young. You know what I mean?
mm, mm. True.
Next question.
Yeah, man. Man, it's very interesting that you mentioned that stuff. I mean, with your journey in substance abuse and drugs, because I also had
yeah,
a conversation with someone else, like, I was questioning, like, why don't we have like seminars or workshops, like, um we can have like the departments of arts and culture addressing the issue of substance abuse and drugs, with so many artists dying because of
mm,
that, you know what I'm saying? And even
yeah,
also
yeah.
depression as well, mental health
Yes.
and things like that.
No, can I say something about that real quick? It's
Yeah.
like I feel like these are some of the root causes of drug addiction that hasn't been
Yeah.
touched upon. You know, the root
Mm,
causes of addiction could be, domestic violence in your family. You know what I
mm,
mean? It could have been
mm,
like,
mm,
growing up in a disadvantaged community whereby,
mm,
you weren't aware of the dangers. You know what I mean?
mm,
But
mm,
these root causes, like you say, depression,
mm,
anxiety. Nigga, like I had
mm,
a panic attack the other time. You know what I mean? But
mm,
these issues are not really touched upon. There's issues of mental
mm,
illness. You know what I mean? That haven't
mm,
been talked about.
mm,
And again, young Africans such as ourselves are not encouraged to talk about it enough. You know what I
mm,
mean? I might have issues
mm,
of like ADD or ADHD or depression or
mm,
anxiety
mm,
that it's seen as a weakness if I talk about it,
mm,
you know. But this is it, man. As we be brave enough to face the truth, you know what I mean? This thing of like,
mm,
I wouldn't call it lying, but presenting an image to the public like it's all good.
mm,
It's okay if it's want to have a party.
mm,
You know what I mean?
mm,
On Saturday morning, though, you got a hangover.
mm,
Your baby mom's is trying to feed the kids. You ain't got money because you spent your dough on booze with
mm,
the fellas. It's nothing to be proud of. You know what I mean?
mm.
That's why me, man, I don't know, man. I kind of like, for me, the age of popping bottles is over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's time to like take responsibility for ourselves as men. You know what
Mm,
I mean? And set an example for the youth. Straight up.
mm. True that. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Plus, I mean, yeah, man. Because I mean, we were also like having a conversation, with uh being recognized in the Sprite MC Africa and stuff like that. And how was it like, man, when
Right,
you
right.
when you also started working in Germany? Because I saw you
Yo,
did a
it was,
project.
yeah. Yo, what I love when you're out there, right? Um, Cats support you in the literal sense. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
it's different from getting a support. Hey, cat, you dope, yo, man, yo, son, you mad tight, right?
Mm,
And then a cat coming to you is the difference between that and someone coming up to you like, I'd like to press your shit on vinyl. You know
mm,
what I mean? It's like,
mm.
whoa, that's mind blowing.
It's
What?
amazing.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, dude, we did a single in Germany. I was there for like, like a month and a half or something. You know what I mean? I was
Mm,
ciphering with cats and I came back with, this shit was on vinyl, 12-inch, white label.
mm, mm.
Like that fast.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There are
Wow.
those resources out there, and what I like, there's also those individuals that believe in the culture to such an extent that they're willing to invest in it. And I think
True.
we could we could use some of that support here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Somebody
mm, mm.
see you doing a broadcast like this and
Yeah.
investing in the fact that when now you're trying to bring up local artists. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean,
Yeah.
dude, what better investment opportunity can you have than to invest in your own brothers from your neighborhood? You know what I mean? You see cats that's dope with the video camera. You know what I mean? Put
Mm,
him on.
yeah.
You know, and But dude, let me clarify. By this, I don't mean asking a homeboy with the studio for a free
Yeah,
beat. I'm not saying that.
yeah,
I'm saying pay the cat.
exactly.
Pay the cat his due.
True that.
Yo, you want a 16 from Snazz D? Pay the cat his due. I charge a
True,
$100 a bar. You want 16? That's
true.
1,600 in whatever currency of the country you living in. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it shows appreciation. It shows appreciation, and it also shows respect for the culture. And
Hmm.
you know what I mean? You show the cat who's doing it some real gratitude. You know what I mean? There's nothing more
Yeah.
tangible than dough,
True.
man. If you a dope producer, it's
Yeah.
only right that I pay you for the beat. You know what I mean? It's the
Exactly.
ultimate token of
Hmm.
appreciation. You know what I mean? At the same
Yeah.
time, you're boosting the economy of hip hop.
Mm.
The hip hop
Exactly.
economy, you're
True.
boosting it. You know what I mean?
True.
Um,
True.
I don't know. In my eyes, I think cats should be a little bit ashamed of being able to download albums for free. It's very
Mm.
expensive to do a fucking track, man. It's very
Mm.
expensive to book a studio, to get a producer,
Mm.
to get the engineer, the timing for mixing and mastering. That's money. And for that
Mm.
track to be perfect quality, dope
Mm.
rhymes, super
Mm.
thumping beats to be
Mm.
downloaded for free, it's like an insult to
Ish.
the artist. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's
Mm.
kind of like, you know what I mean? Okay, that was dope, and I'm gonna scroll up. What else is dope? It's like the
Mm.
ultimate, man. It's, it's,
Mm.
it's like the
Mm.
ultimate disrespect, and that
Mm.
disrespect has become, you know, very trendy.
Mm.
Yo, I
True.
got the new. Yeah, I used to like the game. I like the game. I like the Dre. I like Kendrick Lamar.
Mm.
For
Mm.
me to be able to download the album for free, it's kind of disrespectful. You know what I mean?
True.
This cat goes all out to make dope music for me
You got
to
yeah.
listen to and give him a like.
Mm.
Yo,
Mm.
come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
You gotta show
Yeah.
some tangible support. That's why,
Yeah.
I
Cause,
would
'cause-
encourage cats to support whatever hip hop acts are coming. You know what I mean?
mm. Yeah. I feel you on that one
Whether
because I
it's
mean, like,
Kendrick or whether it's Snazzy.
true that. Because I feel you on that one because I think a couple of months ago I was interviewing DVSD. I'm sure you still remember him, right?
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
From Tanjin Shek. Yeah, because he was saying like, I mean, like people even have a struggle with like just sharing the link of your song. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
those
okay.
streams, those numbers of streams are also very important if you stream the
Right.
artist's music, you know what I'm saying? So like that's the I think yeah that's the huge challenge we have here at home because even just for them to share your a link of your music so that they can stream the music, you know what I'm saying? It's still a challenge for them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what could be the cause of us not supporting each other. Is it because of maybe we come from a freebie culture, um like from a very early stage after democracy, we were told there'll be a free electricity, there'll be a free water, blah blah blah. We want maybe given the
Ah,
skill to have that hustling mentality. Could that be the cause also um, with us?
possibly,
Like,
possibly. I think maybe what is needed is for us to really call out whoever's hot right now and call
yeah,
their bluff. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, dude, like, call the cat's bluff. You know what I mean? If you're so dope in your rhymes, you know what I mean? Let's see you battle online. And, I think everything has really been done. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that really work for your shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Really go in it 100%. You know what I mean? And don't give up at the end of the day.
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. I feel you on that one. But man, before you leave us, man, do you are you planning on doing any events or that so we can catch you for
Um,
performances? You know what I'm saying?
Again, I'm not really doing any shows until the album drops. So right now
Oh, okay,
I'm in studio. I'm in studio
okay,
and I'm working like a goddamn slave. You know what I mean? I'm
for
putting these
sure.
tracks together to make a dope package. So
Mm.
uh, I will let you know. You'll see something. You know what I mean? But I'm really trying to keep
Yeah,
it tight.
for sure, man. I'm looking forward to that because I wanna because what we usually do, we usually share links of the artist's
Right,
music.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Whenever there's a new material coming up, you know what I'm saying? Or
Okay.
whenever maybe you guys are doing performances, and then we just share flyers. So it's all good. It's all good. You let me know. Plus, I mean, we have our own
Uh,
blog. So
Definitely, most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I will.
for sure.
What I can do in the meantime is maybe give you like a track that you can
Okay.
play in the meantime. You know, just a taster of what's coming. I could
All
probably
right.
send you that later on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. 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 We'll talk
yeah.
about that one
But
then.
January 24. You know what I mean? That's new Snazz D album coming.
Right. Take note, guys. January 24,
Peace.
Snazz D dropping. It's been a long time,
Yo,
man.
man,
I'm excited, man.
I just like to thank you as well for this opportunity. You know what I mean? I got a lot of people
For
watching
sure, man.
because of you, and I'd like to thank you for the chance to, be heard.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So,
Man, I appreciate you for also like, I mean, because like you're an OG and I look up to you guys, and it's so nice because when I listen to you guys, I get so much guidance and so much vision. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying at times I can be so confused, not knowing what
salute.
to do, and you guys like have been in this movement, so having you guys here and talk, it makes things so much easier for me because now I know what decisions to take, and also other young people, they know what route to take. So we appreciate you guys for like giving us the
For sure.
opportunity to interview you. You know what I'm saying? And
I so love, man.
we'll do our best as we can to share your music to the people, even though we don't have much viewers, I'll admit. But yeah,
All right, we'll see after this. All right,
we'll
sure.
definitely, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, anything else further, I'll definitely let you know on the other side. Um, yeah,
Okay,
there's something else that I'm planning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to organize everyone, all the artists, and then
right.
yeah, we'll gather around and we'll have discussions and ideas, and then try and implement something. Then yeah, then from there on, then we'll see what we can
Okay,
do for sure. Ochi, I appreciate you so much.
no doubt, man.
Salute,
All right,
big
thanks for your
ups,
support. Peace,
for
salute,
sure, for sure, for sure. We're always here,
one love.
always here, Ochi. One love, Ochi. Thank you so much,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for sure,
All right, all that shit. All right, one love. Peace.
for sure.